While personal branding has been around for a long time, the phrase personal branding took a while to catch on. I'm not convinced that it's fully caught on. The concept is there and it's a solid concept, but a lot of people don't like thinking that they have a brand or that they are a brand. Personal branding presentations usually start out with the presenter showing logos of popular companies, for example, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mercedes-Benz, things like that. They show these logos and then they say, what do you think about when you see these logos? And you might think about food or comfort or safety or something along those lines. The point that they want to share is that if you have a very strong brand, and in those cases they're showed by a logo, sometimes a tagline, that you can convey a lot of imagery or feeling because of the brand that you've created. People don't like that. In presentations, I've heard people say, I'm not a cow, I don't want to be branded, talking about a brand that a cow might receive from the ranch that owns them. Or they'll say, I'm not a can of soda, I'm not a brand like that. Well, I hear the message and I agree. I think it's kind of tacky to talk about all of these brands and say, well, you could be a logo or a tagline also. Those marketing campaigns have millions and millions of dollars behind them. But I contend that you still have a personal brand. Let me rephrase this question. Instead of asking, what is my personal brand? I would like you to ask this question. How do others perceive me? What do other people think about me? If somebody was talking about me to somebody else and I wasn't around, what would they say about me? If I walk into a room of people in a meeting, are people going to be happy? Are they going to be upset? If you don't like the phrase personal brand, I'm okay with that. Every time I say personal brand in this course, just think about perception. This really is the question, how do others perceive me? For example, you might be perceived as a rainmaker. A rainmaker is somebody who brings a lot of money into an organization. I have a friend who's a project manager. He manages project managers and has his own projects that he works on. One day he told me that year he had brought in $3 or $4 million of revenue simply because of the conversations that he had with his clients. What an amazing brand for him to create within the organization. Not only is he a project manager, he's aware of the needs of the company and knows how to bring sales in. Are you perceived as a thought leader? A thought leader is somebody who you would go to and say, what do you see on the horizon? Where are we headed? Where's the industry headed? What are the new things that we should be paying attention to? Thought leaders aren't necessarily always right, and they don't always have an opinion on everything, but they're well respected for their thinking. You might be branded as a follower. That's not necessarily bad. Every team needs people who can be team players, and being a follower is a big part of that. In other words, this is somebody who's not going to try and argue every time a leader says something. They can quietly and efficiently get their job done and be dependable. Are you perceived as a smart thinker? Are you the person people turn to see what you're thinking? They respect your ideas and opinions. They know that you're an analytical and a critical thinker, and they really want to know what you're thinking. Are you a great presenter? There are some employees that are not allowed to be in front of a customer, or a prospect, or even other people in the company. There's a lot of power in being a great presenter. Are you perceived as that person? Are you the pleasant person? Do people like to be around you? Are they going to feel well respected? Are they going to share personal things with you? Or are you more on the mean side? Or maybe you're just down to business and you're not really the one that they want to go hang out with at lunch. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but if your reputation around the office is that you're nice or that you're mean, that'll have an impact on the relationships that you have with other people and maybe the projects that you get to work on. Are you perceived as being someone who is presentable? Maybe you are the best technologist to take into a pitch meeting, but if they can't count on you because of your body language or what you choose to wear or how you communicate, they might decide to bring in somebody who's less of a technologist but more presentable. Are you a great analyst? Are you a team player? Do people think that you're a subject matter expert? Are you the person known as someone who creates things? Or are you really good at execution? Are you a leader? Could you be in charge of a team that's failing? These are all different ways that people might perceive you. Of course, they might think you're multiple things. Maybe you're a creator and a leader and a rainmaker. Maybe you're a great analyst and you're nice. When I'm in a room of professionals in transition, before I go this deep, I'll say, how many of you have a personal brand? And only a few people will raise their hand. My argument to them is that each and every one of them has a personal brand. Every single person in the room, including you, is perceived a certain way by friends, colleagues, family, coworkers, customers, anybody we interact with. They form a perception of who we are. That, right now, is your personal brand. It might not be how you want people to perceive you, but they are definitely perceiving you a certain way right now.